Hello, good morning, my dears. Hope all of you are fine there and all of you study your portions very well. Okay, today we are going to discussing about the states of matter and also prove some um, activities to show the matter occupies space and mass. Okay, we know that anything that occupies space and has mass is called as matter, right? Okay, now we are going to prove that shows that the air has mass. Okay, the materials is required for this activity. I will take a balloon for this. Okay, a balloon, a weighing balance, and a air pump. Okay, place the empty balloon into the weight balance and read the weight. Okay, now we can see that it's 0. And after the balloon blows and take the balance again, we can see some the weight that readings are there in the weighing balance. So through this activity we can prove that the air has mass. Okay, next we are going to prove that the water is a matter. Okay, two similar empty bottles and a water, that's the materials required for this activity. Okay, take the empty bottle and weigh the empty bottle with the help of a weighing balance and mark the readings and fill it again. Fill it, take the readings again and we get the reading. Okay, so through this activity we can prove that the water is a matter because water has mass and it also occupies the space. Let us watch a video clip related to this and what's the matter and the states of matter, their properties, etc. Okay.
Now, what is matter in science? Let's consider a chair and a desk. This chair has some mass and volume. I mean, this chair occupies some space, so this chair has volume. Also, it has some well-known mass. Similarly, this desk has some mass and occupies some space. Hence, it has some volume and it has some mass. According to this example, we can say that everything in the universe has some mass and volume. Either it is a chair or a desk or a car or a cell phone or a computer, etc. They all have masses and volumes. Thus in science, we define matter as anything or any object occupying some space, means having some volume and has some mass, is known as a matter. This chair is a matter. If I ask you why, your answer is because it has some mass and has volume. This desk is also a matter. If I ask you why, your answer will be because it has some mass and has some volume. Therefore, remember that anything having volume and mass is known as a matter. Now, what about states of matter? Well, there are three states of matter: solid, liquid, and gas. I will discuss all these three states of matter: solid, liquid, and gas. Firstly, let me teach you about solid. Usually, rigid objects are solids. For example, this curve. The first property of solid objects are that they have a definite shape. The shape of this cup is definite. Its shape doesn't change. Even if you carry it to the space, its shape would remain the same. Secondly, solids have definite volume. For instance, you can put specific amount of water or matter in this cup and its volume will also remain the same even if you carry it to the space or anywhere. Thirdly, The molecules or atoms of the solids are closely packed together and uniform where there is a strong force of attraction between the molecules of solid. If someone asks you why solids have definite shape and definite volume, your answer should be there is a strong force of attraction between the molecules or atoms of solid. Due to this attractive force, solids get definite shape and definite volume. Fourthly, solids are incompressible. Again, if someone asks you that why solids are incompressible, your answer should be like this. The atoms or molecules of solids are closely packed together. There is no gap or empty space between the molecules of solids. Thus, you cannot compress these molecules of solid, and that's why we say that solids are incompressible. Therefore, remember these four properties of solids. Solids have definite shape, solids have definite volume, molecules of solids are closely packed together, and they are incompressible. Now let me teach you the second state of matter, a liquid. Usually, liquids are flowing. For example, water, milk, and honey. The first property of liquid is that they have indefinite shape. Let's consider 1 liter water in this beaker. The shape of water or liquid in this object is rectangular. Now, if I put this water in the flask, its shape will be like trapezium. Similarly, if I put this water in this flat object, its shape will be like sphere or circular. Thus, from this example, we learn that the shape of liquid is changing. Therefore, we say that the liquid has indefinite shape. Secondly, liquid has definite volume. Although the shape of liquid is changing while changing object for it, but the volume of liquid remains fixed or constant. For example, the volume of water in the beaker is 1 liter. When you put the liquid in this flask, again its volume is 1 liter. Similarly, the volume of water in this flat object is also 1 liter. Therefore, we say that liquids have definite volume and indefinite shape. Thirdly, the molecules of liquids are loosely packed together in non-uniform pattern. Molecules of liquids slide over each other. Here are two important questions which you should learn. The first question is that why liquids have indefinite shape but definite volume. The second question is that why liquids are mobile or why liquids flow. The answer of these both questions is same. The attraction force between the molecules of liquids is weak compared to solid. Due to this weak attraction force, molecules of liquid slide over each other. Hence, they flow or they are mobile. As a result, due to this sliding motion of molecules, liquids have indefinite shape. Fourthly, liquids are mobile. Fifthly, liquids are incompressible. Although the force of attraction between molecules of liquid is weak, but this force is enough to keep all the molecules of liquid together. As a result, there is no empty spaces or gaps between the molecules. No gaps or no empty spaces between the molecules means incompressibility. Hence, liquids are incompressible. Also, both the liquids and gases are known as a fluid because of their flowing property. Therefore, remember that the liquids have indefinite shape but definite volume. Liquid molecules are loosely packed together in non-uniform way. Liquids are mobile and liquids are incompressible. At last, let me teach you the third state of matter, a gas. Usually, gas is the invisible state of matter. For example, balloon filled with ammonia gas or the air surrounding us. The first property you should learn about gas is that gases have indefinite shape. Secondly, gases have also indefinite volume. For example, consider that suddenly this balloon bursts down. What happens to the ammonia gas in this balloon? Well, all the ammonia gas will escape from it and it will mix up with the air surrounding us. Thus both the shape and volume of ammonia gas changed. If you do not understand this example, let me give you another example. Consider a closed cylinder with a movable piston. Let there are 6 molecules of gas in this closed cylinder. Remember that the gas molecules are free to move. Thus, thirdly, the force of attraction between gas molecules are very weak. You can say negligible. Fourthly, gases are mobile, means they are freely moving. Fifthly, they are compressible. Now come to the main point. These 6 molecules of gas are freely moving within this cylinder, in this available space or in this available location. As I told you that force of attraction between gas molecules are negligible. Hence, there is large gap or empty spaces between gas molecules. Now, when I exert downward force on this movable piston, it will force the gas molecules to condense together. Or you can say that this downward force of piston will bring together all these 6 molecules of gas. Initially, both the shape and volume of gas was like this. But due to external force of the piston, both the shape and volume of gas changed. That's why we say gases have indefinite shape and indefinite volume. Also, gases are compressible due to gaps or empty spaces among molecules. I am sure you may have heard the word CNG. Its abbreviation is compressed natural gas. It means the natural gas is compressed for commercial use. This was all about what is matter in science, 3 states of matter and their properties.